Do you ever get that feeling in Satisfactory where you feel like you've bit off a little bit more than you can chew? Well, I've had that feeling over the last couple of days, so I think it's about time that I make a plan, especially for this particular area of the map. What am I doing, what am I collecting, and what's the future going to be like for this particular factory? Which is about 3 different factories and 2 different logistical floors all combined into one. Which is rather challenging, but hopefully it can also be rather fun as well. So welcome back to the stream, everyone. Hope that you're all doing well today. And yes, we are going to answer that question. But what is the easiest way to answer that question? Well, luckily, if I open up this tab and then go over here where I've got this, there we go. What I'm going to try and attempt to do, and hopefully succeed because it's not that difficult to try and do, is draw out where I want my conveyor highways to go. And where my future, roughly, where my future couple of factories are going to go as well. This way, I'll be easily able to see, okay, that factory's over here, I can connect it from this way and that way, the terrain is not too bad over here, so just little things like that. So just future planning to try and get an absolute essential, it really is essential, but an essential look into what exactly I'm doing for my future factories. So let's go ahead and do that. If you guys are watching live, by the way, welcome. If you're not watching live, do not worry. I am live again tomorrow. So feel free to subscribe if you like Satisfactory. Because I stream Satisfactory pretty much every single day now. So yeah, if you guys like it, cheers, and we'll get into it. I've been drinking water like a river today. I don't know what it is, I just haven't stopped drinking water. It's really bad. Oh well. Well, it's not bad, it's just, it's a lot. Anyway, so the plan's going to be our rocket fueled factories over there. That was that yellow square that you saw over here. We've then got a conveyor highway coming down there. And we've got our main coal district over here. It's no longer a power plant, it's now a district. Because I've got my Fixbus factory. I've got my train station over there as well. My main coal power plants. A bunch of extra water coming down here as well. We've also got our little... What are they called? They're not called power towers, that's something else. And they're not called battery. Power saver? Or power towers? No, they're not called power towers. The energy tower things where you can store electricity. We've got a tower of that somewhere over there as well. As well as our conveyor belt highways coming around here. The next factory that I'm going to be building after this is my aluminium factory. Last playthrough, I built it exactly here, in this area. Why? Because it's the best area to build aluminium. You've got crude oil there, which I use personally for my aluminium scrap recipes. And we've got a couple other resources. We've got pretty much bauxite running from here through to the swamp area in a straight line. So it's really simple to collect. Of course, now we've got our conveyor belt highway collecting all of it for us, which is, I mean, in my opinion, far better. So in theory, I can actually build this factory wherever I want, and then build something else here instead. So I'll have to consider where my aluminium factory is going to go, because again, it can definitely go here. I don't really want to build it down here, in my coal district. If I was going to, I could somehow implement it on top of this little hill. It's not that little, it's actually it's average size, okay? But I could implement it on top of this hill, or even over here, because we've got tons of room. I'm really unsure. I feel like this district isn't what I wanted it to be. It was never supposed to be a district, so I kind of just want to finish this off and move on. Maybe even start an area of our main city. So if I was to bring some bauxite all the way from there to the other side of the map entirely, somewhere around here, we can then collect a bunch of crude oil from here as well, which is easy to do. We've then got one of our conveyor belt highways coming down there, another one coming down here now as well, and a third one most likely coming down here. So we can easily get resources to and from this place, which is of course fantastic. There's tons of room here to expand. I don't know why I'm looking at these islands in particular, because in theory I want to try and build it somewhere over here, a bit away from these islands. If I can, that would be quite nice. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do that then. It will most likely be right behind here, like fairly close to these islands, but then you got this thing. If this wasn't here, it would make life so much easier. But no, that is there, unfortunately. So we'll see what we'll do with that. But yes, our aluminium factory is most likely going to go somewhere along there. So let's very quickly open up this. And what I want to try and do is draw out my conveyor belt highway. Just so I get a rough understanding of where everything actually is. There we go. So you come up to around about there. We then have this rather gigantic coal district. Is it bigger than it should be? Yeah. It does not need to be this big, but it's about that wide, I would say. Which means that you probably don't need to go that far out. So you then come up around here, don't you? You come out a little bit further than where the district actually starts. Let me just pause that there for a second. And again, welcome to everyone that is watching. We are definitely live, I think. I will just double check. Yes. I can never tell anymore. Yes, you're slightly wider than that. You sort of come out to about here. Now, it doesn't have to be exact, but I like for it to be pretty close at least. You then come down there. A little bit further, actually. A little bit further out as well. There we go. Up here. Hello? That one picture there does not want to get drawn on. Oh, well. So we can say that you then come out to here, you then go around there, that's fine. What I'll then do is probably clean that up there a little bit. Skip the ad, there we go. Then you continue somewhere off there for now. Okay, this is not wanting to work. There we go. Get rid of that. Nope. Get rid of that. And get rid of that. Okay. It's probably good if I name these things here as well now. That's what I used for my thumbnail for today. Welcome, Pockets. Hope that you're doing good. RF for rocket fuel. And then CD, coal district. There we go. Why are you trying to draw it out rather than uploading your save to Skim? Because I can't be asked. I prefer doing this manually. It's far more enjoyable. I'm able to plan a little bit more with this as well. It's what I've been doing for years, and I'm going to continue doing it because it's what I know. And it's, in my opinion, far better to do it manually than get a robot to do it for you. So that now comes out to there. You then just continue straight across. In fact, where do you even... I don't think it really matters where you line up, as long as you just go towards the sea. Oh, I forgot it's still Fixmas. I was wondering what this was. Like, what is my coal generator producing for that to happen? But no, of course, that's the present for Fixmas. But that's still going then, is it? You're all yellow. Why are you all yellow? Oh, I've probably filled up the stars, haven't I? Oh, it doesn't matter. Probably filled that up a week ago. Yeah, you just go forwards, that's fine. The roundabouts. If I was to go to here, how would that be? Get rid of that now as well. No, that won't work. That won't work. Okay, I've definitely selected this now. There we go. Well done. January 18th. Damn. Yeah, I forgot about that. So the red line here is the border. I can't go out any further than that. Do I want this highway to go straight through the aluminium district? Yes, because it will add quite a nice sort of look to it. There we go. Do, do, do. And get rid of this last one. It lets me. Thank you. Yeah, this is then where our aluminium factory is going to be. I don't quite know the size of it, but I know roughly where I want it to go. You will then continue out a bit further to here. Then just go straight down, basically. Here. Then out to here. And then preferably, you are then going to connect to the grass fields. I say preferably. No, you are going to connect to the grassy fields. Is it grassy fields or grass fields? I feel like it's just grass fields, isn't it? Beautiful. Okay. We're then going to have probably some factory out there. Well, most definitely some factory out there. And we'll go with... No. Let's see. Something like this, maybe? For the aluminium factory, because that is still rather large. That is a rather large factory. That is the same size as... Let me just show you. Everything here. Plus, I'm probably going to add some elevation to it as well, so we should be fine. We'll go AL. There you go. So those are my 3 main factories. Of course, I've got my starter factory here. I don't know why it's done that with the texture, but oh well. I think it's here, isn't it? Yeah. Another very small factory out here. Probably too big. Definitely here though, isn't it? There we go. And the starter factory is going to be... I think it's there. It's difficult to tell when the terrain's like this. Regardless, it is somewhere like that. So that's our starter factory. And over here we have a temporary crude oil factory. There we go. So that's what I've got so far, including some things I want to eventually have. Although we have got a bit more of our conveyor belt highway coming out here, don't we? And now coming round here. So you come out to here. You then come down here. And the plan is I want you to go through here. I would love if that works out. If it does or not, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out eventually. You then come up here. Where you're instantly going to turn in this direction and then hopefully just come down here a little bit. Again, that is the plan. Let's see if it's going to work out for us. You also come into here again, don't you, at some point around here? It's somewhere there, isn't it? There we go. We then have another conveyor belt highway sticking out from the point where it goes in, just straight out in that direction. So you're going to be quite close to this one, unless... No, I think I want you to do that. The reason why I said unless there was because I could actually try and hug you around this little rock, but then you're going to be next to that rock over there. I could try and space it out a little bit better, so add some sort of corner here. Get you as close to that wall as possible. I think I will actually try and do that. Makes a little bit more sense. Again, it just spaces it out. You'll then come down somewhere here. There we go. Like, yeah, actually, that's fine. Somewhere here. Oh, okay. Then you just come straight out. I don't want you to come too far out, because if it hits that, that's just going to be annoying. A lot of work for us. You then also come straight out here. Nope. Yeah. Nope. Perfect. So that's going to be the plan regarding our conveyor belt highways in this direction. We are then going to have another one, which is already actually started in this sort of direction, which is great. If I try and get a slightly better angle up here. The default object limits. Yeah, probably relatively soon, if I'm honest. But we'll have to wait and see. I've actually got to respawn to try and see exactly where this conveyor belt highway is even heading. I suppose I could try and figure it out from here, can't I? If you come up from around here. There. At the minute, it's going through to here. A bit further out. Then come around here. You then go down to there. Around. And everything here is what I've placed down so far, basically. So I don't have to do any of this. It's already here. Which is nice. Now, for this conveyor belt highway, you start here. And I want you to go out. And so you connect with this. Which gives us a lot of room for opportunities. Which is great. And definitely put a factory out here as well. And again, these conveyor belt highways make everything so much easier to do. Because now, rather than worrying how am I going to get an object from point A to point B, if I have all this infrastructure in place, I can easily get an item from, let's say, down here to there just by adding a conveyor belt following the roads. And I've also got roads as well, so I can use vehicles as transport other than trains, which I can't be asked to do this playthrough. We have also got another conveyor belt highway coming off of this now, don't we? You come around here and then you're actually going up, so you're going to actually connect with this. Whereas this one isn't going to connect with this, it's going to go underneath it. It's quite important. Alas, there we go. That is our start of the plan. So what I want to try and work on today is basically this. Yeah. Because what haven't I done? Pretty much all of that. Yeah. Let's see, actually. Because you now go up to around about there. If I haven't done it, I'm going to paint it in red. If I have done it, I'm just going to stay in yellow. Nothing really coming down here just yet. This way it's nice and simple for me to know exactly what I've done and where I want to try and go from that. In fact, I've done one more thing over here, haven't I? Completely forgot. So color. Yellow. But this plan is quite important. I feel like if I didn't do this plan, it could make things kind of annoying. No, we are planning ahead. You just go straight up. There we go. Now you're actually going to be painted yellow because I have done this. There we go. A little bit further that way. That's all done. This is now all done here as well. There is going to be another highway actually heading off in this direction. I completely forgot. Literally no idea where. Absolutely no idea where that's going to go just yet. I'm sure I'll find an idea for it, but as of right now, nothing. That's done. You're not done. Then I think you stop at a roundabout here, don't you, actually? Let's see how far we can get today then with all these conveyor belt highways. We're also going to have another one coming down from here as well, through there, which is most likely going to end up connecting with this, which just completely avoids the Spire Coast because I don't like building on the Spire Coast. I like building near it because it's beautiful, but because of all the heights and the terrain difficulties, it's much easier just to build around it in the sea where it's nice and flat than it is to build actually there. So even though we have bitten off more than we can chew, I feel like after a while, this is going to end up working out quite nicely. Let's plop that to the side for now. And let's continue with our projects. So, the first thing that I want to try and do is finish the conveyor belt highway work next to our coal power plant. In fact, let me try and do that here. Number 1, build out the conveyor belt highway. Number 2, finish. Oh, lovely. Finish work near coal districts. That includes designing our door, which, by the way, if you were here for our last stream, which not many people were, but if you were, you would have seen that we were trying to build the door as like one of our entrance points to our coal district factory underneath the main coal power plants. That looks fine. I want to try and just finish that entire area around, which I'm planning will take no longer than half an hour, but it depends about how we do our door design, which could take us some time to do, but we'll have to wait and see. Number 3 is then going to be extend. In fact, you know what? There we go. Extend conveyor belt highway to collect sulfur, crude oil. I don't think anything else. Crude oil, sulfur. The other thing that I needed was nitrogen gas, but I've now got more than enough. Coal, I've got way more than what I need. Crude oil, sulfur, I think that's about it. Welcome, Sky Donkey. Hope that you're doing good. The last caretaker. What's that? Free demo. I've got no idea what that is. Oh, is it the thing that you sent me? At the minute, I'm just interested in Satisfactory and Warhammer. But thank you, though. So, sulfur, crude oil. That should then be fine. I don't think there's anything else I want to try and do. Regarding sulfur, how much more do we actually need? A lot more. Oh well. Okay, so we've got some new objectives for us. Let's try and gather some concrete, of which I know I should have quite a lot of. Not necessarily here. Although, wow. I've actually got a lot more here than I thought. That's fantastic. Let's make our way somewhere around there. We've got enough biofuel. Fantastic. I don't think we're massively lacking on anything. I'll actually go over to my blueprint, select the conveyor belt highway. 5 of you, 5 of you. It says that we're missing loads of items, but I know that I've got a lot of them over to where we are going now. So my aluminium factory is normally built here, but this time I'm building it out there. I just feel like it's far easier, if I'm honest with you. And the reason why there's a massive hole here is because I've got a geyser, so I want to try and place down a geothermal generator. But the problem is, I haven't really got enough time to be dilly-dallying, whatever the saying is. Dilly-dallying. Yeah. Around. Need to make some progress. There we go. Chuck that into there for now. And actually, I need a few more of you. That should be plenty. Get rid of that. I mean, first things first, it's building this out, isn't it? Have I got enough silica? I know that I've got a lot in there. I mean, that should be plenty, actually. So that's fine. I do want to try and take some quartz with me. Maybe not that many. There we go. Get some plastic as well. Plastic is quite important. Although, why have I got so much of it? You know what it is? It's probably when I removed my blueprints. And then I have to, because I'm constantly generating plastic, none of it goes back into my depot, so I just keep it on me. That's probably the reason why I've got so much of it. Anyway, let's just continue doing what we're doing. So let's lay out this pathway. I'm then going to build this wall across over there. After I build that wall, we're then going to design a door for this. After that, I'm then going to check all the blueprints that I placed down both yesterday and if I place any more down today. I want to make sure that all of these pillars underneath here are connected to the ground rather than just floating, because that looks a little bit weird. All of our hypertubes are connected. Any logistics, for example, conveyor belts, are going from the direction where they're going now to where I want them to be, because that's quite important. And we'll probably leave it there. I mean, that's going to take hours to do, so let's leave it there for now. If I make more progress on that, fantastic, but if I'm honest, I kind of doubt it. That was always going to happen. There we go. Now we come over here. There. And straight down a little bit further. Just until we get to the wall there. Rid of this. Grand. So that's the plan anyway. Let's see how it's going to go. Plop in a couple of these. Maybe one more. I don't think I can get the second one in. No. Right, so the problem is we've got a 2 gap there on that side, which means that we have to have a 2 gap over here. Bit of a concern. Let's see. Every single problem I've run into on this game we've managed to overcome, so I don't really mind running into problems. It's more of a challenge than an actual problem. The next thing that I then had to try and sort out, now that I remember, is this thing up here is completely off. So I've got to replace everything up there, which is quite fun. Definitely wanted to do that today. Now that I remembered it, I kind of have to do it. So let's see the order then for you. And now it gets dark. Oof, this is a bad time for it to get dark. Oh, that's fine. I haven't actually got this as a blueprint, do I? So I've got to now remake this. I used to, but you guys know the story. All my blueprints are gone. There we go. So it's a pretty simple blueprint, if I say so myself. We've got one there. You go up to here. I can't see anything without the torch. It's insane. Then we have a barrier here. Or wall even, sorry. A barrier there. And then you just zoop across over here. Covering all of that. Fantastic. Okay. Is that it? I think, do you also include this? You do, yes. Okay. So let's focus on that now here as well. Let's make sure that I select this. You're probably not facing the right way. You very rarely do. And not even close to being correct. So what we're going to do here instead then is go into patterns and make sure that this time you are facing the right way. Even though I'm pretty sure I was getting rid of this design before, but it's here now, so oh well. Lovely. I'm also thinking, by the way, since we've now hit 500 hours in our playthrough, do a 500-hour tour. Like a world tour. So stay tuned for that. You're a bit too close together. There we go, that's better. Okay, lovely. I literally don't think there's anything else to this blueprint. I'm going to call it coal power plant. What did I call the other one? Confirm. Coal power plant foundation 00. Okay. Coal power plants foundation 00. Really? Oh, okay. Coal power plant dash foundation 001. Dash foundation 001. There we go, good. The reason why I try and type it out exactly like what I had before, rather than instantly call this 002, is because let's say I made a mistake here, right? Now I can clearly see something's gone wrong. If I went straight to 002, I might not have noticed. Okay. Color, call, brilliance, then just go to this. Should have enough room here in our inventory, but I am running low on computers if I remember correctly. Yep, we are. So we'll chuck that into there. That's all apparently fine. You'll be fine now as well, actually, won't you? It's probably easier if I just get rid of that. Right. Here we go now. It's quite a cheap blueprint, so I don't massively mind getting rid of it. And luckily, because of this mountain being here, I don't have to go all the way around there. I can just stop there, then fix our mistakes like so. It's quite an easy fix, if I'm honest. Okay. So you are now going to come up to there. Is that correct? It is. Beautiful. To here. Yes, this is now completely fine. I can then manually add this round here. Change that to our corner piece. Beautiful. And extend this over in this general direction. And when it comes to our corner, I believe what we did last time was something like this. Oh, actually, I think it came out this side, didn't it? So it was like this. Yes. I remember now. Can't seem to select that. There we go, lovely. I'll be down there. Okay. That's another problem now avoided, which is great. And as always, I do believe it's small details that could potentially make this thing look a little bit nicer. So let's just try and stick with that theory. And keep on keeping on. Yeah, how's everyone doing at home? Hope that everyone's having a nice day so far. Today's stream's going to be nice and chilled. I'm not rushing anything. It's the usual. You guys know the drill by now. I don't rush things. I try and have a little bit of fun. We take our time. Okay, so there's another gap here now. And the reasoning for that gap is because of this. Okay. Because you aren't in the middle. Just realised that's copied and pasted on all of them. No. Just them two. Okay. This is definitely correct, so that's good. Everything up until here is fine. Right. So I think what I'm going to try and do then is keep you there, but then move you down by one foundation. Because you're the middle. Yes, so that would then make everything line up again. In theory. Just put me down right there. Same thing now here. I don't mind that intertwines there a little bit, so that's completely fine. Okay. That's brilliant. And regarding this, just simply put, I'm going to do that. There's no point overcomplicating something when the solution is nice and simple. You actually faced the correct way, that's incredible. Everything's good, brilliant. It's nice that I've got this little stand here. Okay. Now, I haven't yet finished the other door, so I'm not going to start this just yet, but the actual concept of it, I am completely fine with. Although I think you've got to come out by one more. Why are you so foggy? What the heck just happened? We good now? Why is that so foggy for about 5 seconds? Oh, is it because it's dawn? Does the game normally get really foggy when it's dawn? I mean, that was something, alright. There we go. Okay. Oh, pardon me. Let's finish the other door now, but this is definitely a good start. You can probably go. And yes, so regarding this door here, the most important thing for me to have is an easy way for my items to get from down here to here. How am I liking this so far? Yeah, I don't mind it. I think I maybe want to repeat this on this side. Now that I've had time to sleep on it, I think I do want to try and do that. Okay, yes. So we'll go back by half, down by half, drop it in. Up by half there as well, is that correct? It absolutely is. Okay. Potentially time to re-equip the hover pack here, of which I do not have on me anymore. That's fine. Okay. Do this instead. There. Although, oh yeah, because you're not actually the 4-meter one. You're the 3-meter sign. Yes, that's correct. Now you have to go up by, you're not even the right location. There we go. Here. Great. Then I suppose you can then just go here, can't you? And the last thing that I then want to try and do is grab you again. Try and get a slightly better angle here if I can. And just build you straight up. You might have to come back a little bit though. If I even can, I don't know. Not really, unless I get a 2-meter one, but I don't think that's going to fit properly. Unless I do this. Because yeah, the distance I need is technically 2.5 meters. Which is obviously a little bit difficult to do when you got 3 or 4 meters, so we'll do this instead then. Which luckily takes no more than 15 seconds. Did I not copy that? There we go. Okay. So yes, you've got to go. It's probably easier if I plop down this first. And again, I have to build this out. Much easier to see now. It often helps to see what you're doing. That's my top tip after 4,000 hours of playing this game. It helps to actually see what you are doing. And get rid of that. That's not too bad. It looks a little bit like a portal, which is sort of what I was going for. I sort of suppose it was what I was going for. Yeah. Okay. So that's done. The problem is I'm going to need this entire foundation here purely for logistics. Which is a little bit of a shame. So what I'm going to have to do is build this path out here. I don't think there's any other way I can do it, is there? No. I could have you come up through here. In fact, that's always a possibility. Actually, is it? Because then you're going to be on the road or inside of the hypertube, which I don't really want you to be inside the hypertube. Another possibility is that you could actually come up around here. So have the conveyor belt start from there, bring it around the outside of this, then bring it down through there. Again, it's a possibility. What if I was to try something here? If I ignore this for now, this is the example design number 1. Definitely not to get removed in 5 minutes from now. No, absolutely not. Now, let me just very quickly do design number 2. It's our first draft, right? First draft. Not to say this is going to look any better, by the way. What I could do is have some sort of path along here. A path which I am never going to ever use in my entire life. You're then going to come down to here. Which of course you won't line up properly because that would be like cringe. There we go. I want it to go up to there. Oh, I got rid of something here. I know what I got rid of. So that's all now incorrect. That's fine. Well, it's not actually fine, but it's simple to get rid of. So you then go up to here. And we should be off by half a foundation. I want to be off by half a foundation, which I'm very rarely wanting that, but this time we are. Beautiful. We'll then come to here. Although you've got to be yellow. Right. Now, do I remember which one was the correct yellow? Not that one. No. No. Yes, it's orange, not yellow. I can probably make this in the blueprint designer, if I'm honest with you. And what I can then do is this. Logistics. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of that. And there you go. As simple as whatever that just was. The problem is, whether you're going up or down, I don't yet know. So maybe it would be better to design this in the blueprint designer. Would it be better? No, I can just do it by hand if I'm honest. And for now, keep it like this. Because again, I might want to have resources coming from here down there. And then having to get rid of everything is kind of annoying. So I think I'll leave it like this for now. And how does it look from this angle? I think it will end up looking fine. Just for now. In fact, I suppose you're going to be going like this. I might as well just do it what I'm going to be doing in a second. Because I'm having... Is it 5 conveyor belts that I need to bring from down here up to there? I think so. And again, when it comes to you, we do that. I then try and get the right colour. Which is actually the wrong one. Okay, let me try and land before I die. I swear this is the right colour. No. Roger, there we go. Listen then, actually, you know what? It will be easier to do it in a blueprint designer. I want to try and add a little bit more detail to it. But regardless, so let's look at design number 1. It's just a wall. Whereas design number 2, we've now implemented the conveyor belt lift into it. I think it doesn't look too bad. Up here, I don't know what I'm going to do. And from this side, I know it just looks like a grey wall, hence why, again, I want to try and decorate it a little bit. In fact, how tall even is that? It's whatever this is, plus 3 from there, so that's 44. And if I want to try and build a walkway along there, it's then plus 1, 2, 3. So it's about 50. Which is too tall for my blueprint designer. Okay, well let's try regardless. It's worth a shot, absolutely it is. There we go. I'm out of computers. Oh dear. If that was a problem, I'll be concerned, but luckily it's a massive drama. Foundations, we are going to start with you. Coated concrete, because we're going all out for this one, clearly. You then have to be here. So you're placed there, so 1, 2. I think I only come down by 2 there, don't I? If I was to come down by 3, would that look a little bit weird? Let's see. Welcome, Vinod. I'm liking the new badge next to the member and mod's names, by the way. I think it looks quite nice. Okay, it has to come down by that much. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's see. Just noticed that. Yeah, it's literally brand new. I added it 2 days ago, but there wasn't any members or moderators here for the last day or so. 1, 2, 3. And you're going to be on top. Yes, okay, that is now correct. We're then going to shoot up there. Then when it comes to this marking, I don't think I can actually do anything, can I? No. Okay, that's fine. You can just stay like that then. And starting from the bottom of here, which you are going to be, is a minimum of 43. Okay. Let's try 43. In theory, it doesn't have to go all the way to the top. So if I was to get rid of the 5s, 43 minus 5 is 38. That's what it will end up looking like. Let's see how that looks from a distance. Because 38 I can do, I think. I mean, it's fine. The problem is, though, I'm covering the bottom one, so I feel like it would almost make sense to cover the top one, too. From a person's point of view, from over here, how does it look? It actually doesn't look too bad. I almost prefer it, in fact. Let's do it. So, for now, we'll go 38. 10. 8. 38. This will then be mimicked by you, 38. Like the design of the highway here, it's starting to look quite interesting actually. Very built up, which I'm trying to do. What I'm then going to do is, where is it? Customizer, colors. Then paint you the same color as the highway. With potentially some sort of design here in the middle. Nice. I'll start like that. There we go. It's almost correct. Almost perfect, should I say. How would that look? That looks fine. Okay. I don't think there's much more I want to try and do now. Regarding that, at least. This has to change. Is it the second one down that's yellow? It is, yes. Orange. I keep saying yellow because it looks yellow to me. It doesn't look orange. Place you in the middle. There. There. As of right now, it's just going to end here, which does look a little bit weird. But see how it goes for our first test. We'll call it test 001, 2. I should probably rename this because you're not a test anymore. In fact, did I? I literally did, yes. Okay, so you can actually just go, I think. There we go. So, design number 1. Design number 2. Now, design number 3. feel like we're slowly getting better. So slowly more expensive, but oh well. That's fine. So, from the inside of here, this POV, it looks okay. I do have to add something up there. I almost don't like the amount of yellow because it feels a little bit dark in here intentionally other than the lights. Whereas this yellow sort of blinds you a little bit. Although I must admit, I do like the design from this point of view. That's actually quite annoying because it's nice from that side. But it's not quite as nice from this side, I would say. If I was to try and paint it grey, but then it's just grey next to grey, I'm sure it won't even be that noticeable. Let's find out. Yeah, now it just blends in, which from this side, it almost doesn't look as nice now. But then I think from this side, it will look a bit nicer. Yeah. I'm really conflicted. I feel like it needs a little bit of colour. Okay. I think eventually when I have all of these, it will end up looking quite nice. Because I'm going to have some sort of path up here now as well, I think. That's a possibility. Because how much higher can I go in this blueprint? Oh, like barely anything. Right. So I'm going to stick with that. Then I think what I'm going to do is... Oh. I really want to add in a path. One here and one here. That's one. Nothing. There's 8 in total. So what then? Are you one too high? You are. Actually, I suppose you're not, because again, I'm going to add a path along here, then that's going to get continued. So was that 7 high? I then need to build that. Seven, yes. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how this is now going to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything up here can now go. As we work on our new design. Yeah, this is going to stay. It's just getting revamped a little bit. Into something which I don't actually know what it's going to be. Because for this one, I kind of had an idea. It's not that difficult to design. It's actually really simple. But now this... No clue. And I actually want to try and change the lights out here now as well. So that's going to go. And instead, I'm going to add... Should I go with like a large fan? Let's see. A bit of a counter design to my counter design. I'm actually going to build you one higher now as well. I actually want you to go one higher, I think. So you're going to go down there, which I think will end up looking quite interesting. Unique, I would say. Unique. You're then going to continue around this side. If you have just tuned in, by the way, and you don't quite know what I'm making, don't worry, neither do I. If that doesn't fill you with hope and reassurance, I don't know what will. So that's now going to go here. Okay. You have got to get lowered by a little bit. Up again by one more. Yep. Okay. What I would then like to try and do is something. That is right, I want to do something. You then have to come back by 1.5. So I'm going to continue this around here. Continue that around there. Same thing here. Until you then get to here. Which should then be on that sort of level. Then it's a question of, am I going to add power towers? Which is actually a question I didn't really think about, if I'm honest with you. Because if I am going to add a power tower, then that has to stop there. Let's see. Test 003. Suppose we're going to find out. And again, there will be some sort of fan on the back of here as well, but that's just not important to add as of right now. Facing the wrong way, always nice when that happens. Nope. Then you're now going to come back here a little bit. And that should slot in like so. Okay. You're now one too low. So that one on that level has to go. Is that too high? It is. And you're one too low. The only thing that would help here is if I moved everything up by 1. But I can't do. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, move that up by 1 more. Get rid of a couple of these. Although you're halfway through there, which is kind of annoying. From down here though, roughly how is this going to look? I feel like it would look really nice. Because it adds that little bit of extra platform. That I think would look quite decent. Then yes, regarding the power towers then. How is that going to work for us? Because I think we have this one, which is the power tower blueprints. I don't know where they're going to get placed. Because we're going to have them come up all the way along here. Up to around about this point. Let's just try and trace it, do a little path for us. Because one of my streams within the next few days, hopefully, is going to be placing down the power towers. So you come up from around there to here. And I would say you then go from there to there, here, through to the other side. So you're going to start on this corner then. Right. So what I'm now going to be doing is marking out where I want these power towers to go. And I'm going to be marking them by an object which I don't normally place down. We'll go with this. Then leave a gap there. One here. Leave a gap there. One there. And this is the corner, isn't it? So you're going to be here no matter what. Then one more here then. Once again, it's the corner. Okay. That will then continue on that side, where we're going to have one more in this corner. Nothing there, and then straight to this corner. Where again, you're going to come out to, I'd say pretty much here, at a corner in this location, down by a few foundations, and then over there. Grand, okay. So that's that all placed down. Of course, I can't get rid of you in bulk, but that's completely fine. Good. That's actually really simple. In theory. So now again, if I was going to add the power tower to this thing, I would say the power tower must be one of the most least used buildings in this game. I haven't got any data to back that up at all, but if I was to assume what would be the most least used item, I would say power towers, but anyway. There we go. Ignore this wall here, obviously that won't be there. So that will massively help. Absolutely, I would say. But I still feel like adding a path here would also help. Where's my blueprint gone? Hello? I've locked my blueprints, but I didn't lock where I was looking, so now I don't know where it's at. It's gone. That's a shame. Use them a lot to bring power around your world. I mean, I would assume that some people use them a lot, but not enough people use them. Like the ones that do use it a lot, and the ones who don't use it never use it. I've obviously guessed. Right, so you're going to be somewhere here. So move it over to there. Heights wise, I suppose you're actually fine. And now if I was just to carry this over. If I was to carry the flame. Welcome, Johnny. Hope that you're doing well. That looks nice. That looks fine. Okay. So I think I've got a rough understanding of what I want to try and do here. Firstly, regarding this, these two need to go. And very quickly, I am just going to get rid of this, just so I can see what I'm actually doing. Then you're going to be underneath there, which is fine. I suppose, actually, let's just... Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but that's fine. I want to get this back open again. Because this is where our problems actually start, because I built it too high. I think. Because you start where I want you to start, which is exactly there, so that's completely fine. Then again, too high. Which means that all of this is now too high, which is fine. If it was 38 before, just build it to 36 now. Simple as that. The right color by doing this. And by doing this now here as well. Yeah, today's was quite a weird day. Yesterday I woke up at like 11:30. I never do that. I try and wake up relatively early, but yesterday I was just dead. Sucks. I was dead, but I lived. You're coming down there by 2. You're there by 2. And what I'm going to do is leave a 1.5 gap there. That's fine. Although, to be fair, I think this might actually be a 2 gap. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it actually is. So, everything here is sort of perfectly aligned. Okay, right. Sure. But now the correct height. I didn't see any other dramas here other than this. I suppose it's actually quite important to place this down and remove it from the other blueprints. I think I wanted you to come up here, didn't I? Was it one further down? One further down. I see. Can I get rid of this very quickly? I have fallen. We got rid of them too. So, we're over by 1. Or 2. But I think, yeah, you are literally placed just at the very top. I will double check before I do all of my actual logistics here. Grand. Okay. Can I squeeze all of this into one? No, because I've got to bring the wall up again, don't I? Damn. We do it by hand. Let's see. So get rid of whatever this was. Well, it was our little test, to be fair. Like, it wasn't supposed to be the final product. But it helped us get there. Even though we're not there yet. It helped us almost get there. Same thing now with you. Okay. Test 002. It's good. One, two, three, 4. This should now all be correct. I can already tell you're not. So how are you now 1 too far down? When before it was 2 too far up. Oh well. So you're 1 too far down. So bring this up by 1. Okay. That's fine. And again, luckily, actually the only bad thing is I'm going to have to redo the lights, but I can't be asked, so I'm going to just try and make it look intentional. That's better. So I know for a fact now, this is where I want you to be. Which means I can add this here and here. Add this here and here. And select this one, then bring it back. Okay. I'm gonna bang my head on top of this. Hey. Oh, I've lost it. I have lost the plants. The plot has been lost. Severely lost. Awfully lost. I suppose I actually want you to come underneath here, don't I? Or don't. That's fine. I'm down by half. Come across. I suppose actually I was right. Yes. I was completely 100% right. As always, I've never got anything wrong in my life. Not even once. Only rumors have assumed I've ever got anything wrong. Except for everything I've been wrong about, I've never been wrong. And that is actually a fact. That is a scientific fact that can't be argued with. Except for all the times I've been wrong, I have never been wrong. Just extraordinary stuff, really, honestly. I could do one more of these up there. We'll see how that goes. But as of right now, I think this is kind of what I wanted to try and get done for this, at least. Let's see how it's going to work for us, if it works for us. Forgot about the whole logistical thing. Like, you know, the entire reason why I built this, yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Let's maybe try and combine 3 brain cells together and not forget about it. Just for next time. For now... Oh, do I want to zone this in? For now, yes. I know I was saying earlier that I might want to actually rotate these around at some point or another. And that is correct, but now is not that point, so it should be okay. Test 002. It's a very correct fact, absolutely. Never has a fact been more correct in its entire life. If that was a Harry Potter spell, it would be correctum, because that's how correct it was. That's not a real Harry Potter spell, it just sounds like it would be. Avabra correctum! Anyway. How do you lot look? Probably not great since I've just overlapped it with all of this. Well done me as always, there we go. Okay, that bit was actually... it's fine. So, you now come up to there. Okay. And regarding this, I think it should be alright. I now want to try and add in a couple of these blueprints. Just around, see what it looks like. Get rid of all this. Get rid of that there as well. The problem is, for the blueprints where I'm not adding the power tower, do I still want to have the power tower blueprint there? Whilst not having anything on it, just to try and add in a bit of a look? Because that would massively help me out. Let's just give it a shot. If we shoot and miss, we shoot and miss. I just don't want to be aiming blind, that's the only problem. Don't know why I'm doing shooting acronyms or whatever, because yeah, not an acronym. There we go. One more over here. I think what I'm going to do is plop down a few of these. Get an overall look, seeing a few of these bunched together, because so far we've designed it, but I haven't actually placed down a few of them together yet. So it'll be quite interesting to see what it looks like as a group, because that's what it's going to be. The whole point of it, really. What is it? Oh yeah, this is my original one. Well, you can just go. I was going to say it's a bad idea, but that's the idea that ignited this idea. So I suppose it wasn't really that bad an idea. Wrong one. There. Looking good. Okay, so that's 3 of them next to each other. I very quickly want to try and get rid of this. I know there is going to be gaps in between these blueprints, by the way, when it comes to the foundations above. I can just manually connect that together. Like these gaps right here. That's fine. Otherwise, if I was to get a little bit further back here and take a very quick look, I like that a lot. I think. I do like it because it connects them together. For the first time, they're actually connected. I will say, when it comes to... exit this for a second. This part here, I want to add one more of these rounded beam thingies up here, then paint this yellow. Because as of right now, I'm getting away. Wow. I'm covering up this yellow foundation wall here, which I don't really like that much. So we're definitely going to get rid of that. Add in this wall here, paint it yellow, orange. Just to get a bit of the colors back again. The last thing that I do want to try and do, just to cement this idea, is this. And select you now. And you're now going to go here. And again, even if there is going to be no power tower on top of this, it's still nice to have it. Yeah, it fits quite well. I think it adds something quite nice to the build. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go one more. There. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 7 up. Okay. Hey, 7 up. I've only ever had 7 up once, and it was in a random village somewhere in central Lebanon. There you go. Only ever had it once, and that's where it was. I think it looks alright. From this side, it looks fine. This side, it's fine here as well. From this side, I think we'll end up looking fine. That definitely needs to be there. I like it though. It's that sort of outdoor-indoor factory I was trying to go for. Because this road here almost looks like it's a part of this factory now, even though it has nothing to do with it. But because of the way that we're sort of overlapping the roads here with other roads and factory parts, it does make it seem like it's cutting through the factory, which I really like. And now, of course, it is, I suppose, because we're adding a little road down there. I thought the camera could go through walls. I don't know why. It should do, though. And crop. Really? Wait, if I was to do this... Oh, okay. That's kind of changed things a little bit. I completely forgot about that. Damn, look at that for a cinematic introduction. Let me try and pause the background music for just a second. And then let me try and do an introduction. Well, I say an introduction. A cinematic shot. Never mind, I can't do one because my camera can't go that far out anymore. I'll try and do this. I've got a really cinematic dialogue prepared. I hope you guys are ready, by the way. Here we go. This is a door. It's a door which leads you into another room. What room? None of your business. This door, nicknamed the door, has been established for well over 3 hours, and it's home to stuff. Was that good? Should I become a voice actor? I hope the answer is no, because I don't want to become a voice actor. I can't think of anything worse than going to see a high-end production than hearing my voice in it. You'll have someone there who's actually good at voice acting, and then out of nowhere, someone whose nickname is the Valhallan Pickle on the internet. Hello! Oh no, there appears to have been a murder. This is most unfortunate. Is this individual alright? What do you mean they're dead? Nah, I couldn't stand it. Okay, so I think I am going to change this blueprint in a way. Yeah. Okay. Wait, we've been live for an hour and a half? Bloody hell, man. That's flown past. But I mean, hey, we're off to a pretty good start. Let's, I suppose, just continue doing this now. So let's load back in this one. And I think the only thing I'm going to change is I'm actually just going to remove this OD boost. Defining a word, then giving an example. Oh, absolutely, yeah. I could do that. Absolutely, I could do that. I could be the best at doing that. The greatest. Okay. So now you're going to go from there exactly 40 meters across here, where I'm then going to paint you in an orange. Didn't get it wrong that time. Color. It's in between an orange and a yellow, because this is orange. I'd say split you. There we go. Like that right there is an orange. That's yellow. No, that's yellow. Anyway. I'm complaining about it, but I'm the one that designed it, so, I think you have to remain like that, don't you? Yeah, we'll see. Is there anything else I want to try and change here in this blueprint? I don't think so, so... I want to save it? Yep. Whenever that pop-up comes up, I always think to myself, have I done this wrong? Even though I quite literally know the answer is no. I haven't done it wrong. Otherwise I could visually see it's wrong. Oh well. Yep, let's do it. No, wrong one. Oh dear. I'm not tired. Only haters assume that because I'm yawning I'm tired. No. Only fake pickles would assume that. Oh, I've lost my mind. So you go there now. To be fair, I think I lost my mind a few episodes ago. You now go into there. It doesn't really matter if that's gone then, does it? Because you're here. I don't really want you coming across this. So as I get to the center, we stop it. You end there. I end you. There we go. Let me just end it. Lovely. And same thing over here now. Grand. Okay. I think this blueprint's done. Is there anything else I want to try and add here? First of all, is that yellow too bright? That's a very important question. No, I think it's perfect. It adds a lot of color whilst not being completely in your face. Even though it is kind of, but it's intentional. And you're 5 wide, okay. So what I'm actually going to try and do here is this. Boom. Save you as 002. No regrets. Yep. Lovely. And I'm going to clear this blueprint. We're going to go 5. Then you out here by 5 as well. Now, can I try and build you here? I can. Fantastic. I was a bit concerned that I couldn't, because this sort of does actually go through the highway. But oh well. Blueprint designer, sorry. Bring you out here by 5. Same thing here. I'm now going to call you test 003, which will replace... Wait, what? Really? What did I call the other one then? Oh, right, okay. Which will replace what I did before, but that's completely fine. This can now all just go. Same with this. Great. Oh. I didn't realize my inventory was actually full. So where's all my items going then? I assume it's to here. Okay. Interesting. So as of right now... Yep. All I've got to do is just plop them in, then plop this in. Except you're wrong. You're wrong. And you're wrong. Your old blueprints. You, if I'm honest, can stay. There's no reason for that to be gone. Good to try and add this back here now as well. In theory, again, you were actually right. Where's Central? Is that Central? No. That's good. It's a bit easier to do underneath here if I'm correct. Yes. You're fine. So I'm only going to be doing this design when these highways overlap. I can't really see this being used for any other reason. I'm sure I can, like, incorporate them into a factory somehow. Because even though it's specifically designed for this, it doesn't mean that it could only be used for this. With a couple of tweaks here and there, I would say it can be used for quite a lot of things, actually. Yeah, so it's over by 2 each time. Then you're also going to be for this as well. And I'd say that's pretty grand. Lovely. In theory now, you guys don't actually overlap properly until here. So I suppose this is where I'm going to start. Down there to up here. Okay. Let's do it. How? I suppose if I just stand here. Blueprints. I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna try and change the name of it now as well. First one's in place. And as I say, I don't think there is any more problems with this. From what I can tell, at least. You're good. And to be fair, there wasn't anything wrong with it before either. It just so happened that I was continually adding things and changing things, but now I think we're at a stage where it just looks fine. Like, it looks how it's going to look. I'm not going to change it anymore. Unless it looks dreadful, then yes, I will change it, obviously. Fingers crossed, it doesn't. There. Is this the last one? I feel like it might be. Well, the thing is, you actually do extend over there, but the problem is you don't actually overlap where the factory is. And I only want this to be visible, which, by the way, is starting to look quite nice now with all this space down. But I only want this to be where the factory is, so... Let's see. Yep. That looks fine to me. Grand. Then the final thing to do is come up to here, connect the paths together, the foundations. I say it's not really used much as a path, but it will look nice. The bare minimum. can try and select this, that'd be great. There we go. I don't know why it wants to be complicated, but as long as it fits, I don't mind. It's good to me. Great. Yeah, I think that's the best that we're going to do it with placements. Good. Good from that side. Good from on that side. And then I think what I'm going to do, because you're the last one here, just gets rid of all this. Does that also include that side? No, it doesn't. There we go. Okay. I don't mind that. I can tolerate that. Obviously, here again, like, it's not a bad place to walk, but at the same time, am I ever actually going to walk along here? I'd be lying if I said yes. You never know. Oh, hello. Oh, you got the wrong blueprint. I was going to say, how come you placed down perfectly now? But yeah, you are just the wrong blueprint there. Shame. Lovely. I think we have 1, 2, 3 more to go. Kind of flying through this. There. Good. Oh wait, I didn't actually place one down here. Oh, that was the last one. Right, okay. So this doesn't really last for that long now, does it? Also, that... Oof. Do I like how that gets rid of that? Makes literally 0 difference as far as what I can tell. I got rid of something. I got rid of something back here, and I don't know what it was. It was a glass window. Okay. Luckily, I saw that. Deary me. No, I forgot to change my POV. Well then, this is going to be the final look. I don't mind it. Okay. We've got a bit more fog over here, so with the fog, it looks fine. I feel like somebody's watching me. No, I feel like these power things, if they were to go straight down now to the very bottom, because you don't collide with that and you don't collide with this either. The only problem is you're only off by about, what is that, 2 foundations, whereas I'm pretty sure you're off by like 3, maybe 4. So it won't be central, but what I could then do is maybe make some really good looking arches for the building underneath here. That's not today's problem. However, I feel like that would be a really interesting design. So what I'll then do, again, just brainstorming here, these towers will be the exterior of the exterior, shoot that straight down. Then where you see this little arch here, I think what I'm actually going to do is continue that down, and shoot that straight down, but with concrete, a concrete wall. I'll then design some mini arches with a pathway in between here. So this is what, 2 foundations? 2 and a bit? Yeah, 2 and a bit. Something into there, another archway. With 1 foundation gap there, then the building starts here. So there's going to be an outer layer, a path, an arch, a mini layer, then the building actually begins. That is what I like to call depth. And I love a little bit of depth. I think that would be a really cool idea. A part of me really wants to finish this, but the problem is, and the reason why I haven't finished my coal district, is that this isn't relevant to the rocket fuel. And I want to get my rocket fuel power plant done. Like, all of this I can do off camera. I don't want to, but I can. Anyway, So I'm happy with the way that all looks. You can, in theory, go now, because you're all going to have power towers on you. There we go. Next thing is next. Let's try and focus on this. What time is it? 46 minutes past 4. Okay. 4:45. Still got time for it. Absolutely. And then, yeah, so regarding our logistics, the ones that we got underneath here, all I have to do now is bring it from there up to there, but we'll do that in just a minute. But now I'll focus on you. Bring you down like that. Now, do you appear through the floor? Oh, brilliant. Do you appear through the floor? You do, but honestly, I don't mind. I can barely even see it. Okay. No. In that case, then we'll stick with this concept. The reason why I'm adding this here is because I feel like it looks... Ooh, that's fine. I feel like it looks a lot better than having the thicker concrete pillar. Also, because we have got a hypertube here, I know this still does go... Actually, does it cut straight through it? Well, kind of, yes. But if it was to go straight through concrete, I feel like it would look a lot worse. So there is some benefit to adding this down here. Which honestly, I do quite like. Oh, dearie me. You ever have that feeling where you yawn so much that it actually starts to hurt? I get that a lot, and it's not very fun. In fact, whenever I do yawn, I notice I just continuously yawn. I don't do one yawn and that's it. I'll do 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then before you know it, I'm just... My jaw is in agony. Ow. You also get that? Oh, it's so annoying. It's infuriating, in fact. I was checking this morning, by the way, to see how we're doing regarding the channel. Because I so rarely check it that when I do, I sometimes get surprised. And yeah, the channel is doing alright. I think we're 8 subscribers away from 10,200. I do realize I didn't do a 10,000 subscriber special. I don't think it's necessary. I don't stream to gain a following. I stream because I just want to play this game and have a little bit of fun, to be honest with you. So, that's my reasoning why I didn't do a special stream. Didn't really feel appropriate. That's too low. I mean, I'm still very thankful for it, don't get me wrong, absolutely I am. But, yeah. I don't mind what the number is, as long as I can just stream a game I enjoy. Hence why I will not be playing Grand Theft Auto 6. I've talked about this before, I don't like the game. I don't like GTA. When GTA does launch, and every single person under the sun's playing it, don't worry, I won't be. I'll be playing this, most likely the day of its launch. It's going to come out in November, because it was supposed to come out, I think, April. Was it this year it was supposed to come out? Then they delayed it until next year, then they delayed it again, but they keep on delaying it. The reason why they're delaying it is actually extremely simple. Basically, GTA 6 got leaks, and because of how much information and data was leaked from the people, the team behind it, the Rockstar was like, okay, well, most of our game has been shown. There's lots of hype building up around it. Let's just advertise the game, even though the game's still nowhere near ready for release. So that's when they dropped the trailer saying that it's going to come out in whatever the first date was. Even though in reality, they almost, again, just assuming here, but I don't think they actually wanted to release it that day. I think the only reason that they gave a release date is because they had to. And they had to also maintain the hype as well. Because if they were to put out a trailer saying, coming out in 2 years' time. What? What do you mean 2 years' time? So, again, speculation. But I think that GTA 6 was always going to get delayed. They were never going to release it when they first said. But they had to give a release date close to the day because of the hype. And they wanted to try and ride the hype train. I can't speak English today, man. It's infuriating. Oh well. Regardless, this is starting to look fine. But can you imagine this, though? I'm not doing it now. You've got a highway coming through here. Lights above. One factory over there. Another factory over here. You've got curves, little arches going from one side to the other. I think it would look incredible. And that's definitely something I do want to try and do. I mean, my aluminium factory, it's literally what I was talking about towards the start of the stream. With the highway going through the factory. I think that would look quite nice. Anyway, that's this part now done. So the main thing I wanted to try and get done today is now done. Let's now move on to this door over here, which is a bit more important than this. Right. How do I want to try and do this? I've got an idea. Unsure how this is going to work, but I want to give it my best attempt. I want to start off with something like this. Preferably that will then be met by... I can't even, like, fit this in here. No, because you're in the middle of the road, which I don't actually kind of want. Right. Let's come over here by a little bit. There we go. That'll then come down to around about there. So right now I've just got a massive rectangle. Congratulations if you're able to spot that at home. I think what I want to actually try and do is bring you down by one more, so you are actually going to be overlapping the wall there a little bit. I think that would look pretty cool. What I then want to try and do is add in a wall behind this as well. Because again, we've got tons of room to play with here. I can go up to around about, in fact, exactly here. Wow, that's worked out beautifully, by the way. Holy. That's worked out fantastically. I'm probably just going to use this, though, because I don't need that much. There we go. We'll go 8 high. Now, I actually want this to end somewhere here. Same thing there. Bring it all back. Great. And again, you're going to come out here by a little bit. Down here. I'll add in some sort of side door there, that's fine. Right, so my first concept is something... As you can tell, I'm very confident with what I'm about to do. What we'll do is bring you down by that much. Bring you down by there. Bring you up to here. Same thing down on this side. Except I have to remove you. No. Look better like that. Yep. Okay. Now the background, do I want that to remain in a whitish sort of colour? Yeah, I mean, I could do. It's not going to remain as a cube. I'm just trying to cut down room for now. See roughly where everything's going to end up going. Firstly, regarding this outer layer, I feel like what I want to try and add is some triangles. Go one up here. Like so. And one here. I can't really bring you down too much further now because of, well, that's... What I'm going to do is this. You're all painted black, right? Yes. It's going to come down like that. Again, paint it black. But now because of this design, this almost looks a little bit weird. So I might have to bring you down by 2 more. To have this. Okay. That works. Followed by, where is it? These. No. Just seeing, like, this might not stay, I just want to have a look. We'll have a look. Of course we'll have a look. Dreadful. That has worked out before, and in some regards it does work, but just... clearly. Add this over here now as well. Thing is, that does look nice, but because of how far it overlaps this road here, I could make it a one-way road. That's always a possibility. In fact, could I just do that? So remove that. Whether I can do it or not, I want to. The only problem is, though, the trucks wouldn't be able to really get down a one-way road. That's the entire reason why I've made it a 2-lane road. Expad, thank you. Always appreciate your contributions. Because I like this sort of barn effect, where it looks like you're going into a barn. What about this? Automated gates. So again, you'd go there. I want it to be bigger. What? Oh, there we go. Bring that to there, bring that to here. Yeah, the automated gates are too small, that's why I don't often use them. If I was to get rid of just this overall design here, just for a second, then I still stick with everything beyond here. Like that. I don't mind the way this looks for now. It needs something. So I feel like what I might even do is come here, down by 10. Then continue this. In fact, it had to be down by 8, doesn't it? By 10. So you'll look a little bit like that for now. Not finished yet, but for now. I want there to be a very small gap here where you can see this. There we go. Perfect. Almost too perfect. How's that? Pretty good, I'd say. Bring that out over here. That's a bit more like what I wanted. An actual large entrance here. I'm then going to probably get rid of this. If I'm honest with you. That across over here. Then get the reverse ramp. And then plop down that down here. Again, just seeing what this looks like. Not confirmed yet. That can't go there, that's the problem. Okay, so. Do I want to come out here by another foundation? I suppose what I could do is try and build this up to around about here. Like that. And have you come out here by 8 meters. There. Wouldn't look dreadful. Though I feel like you have to be a little bit lower down. There just for now. No, because you then do that, which is quite annoying. I think I do want you to be a little bit further down. That looks a bit better for me. No. Yes. No. No. Down. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think I would prefer this. Got good elevation now, at least. From approaching angles, how does this look? Doesn't actually look that bad. Okay. Obviously it's not finished, this is just what we're starting off with. Right. So you're going to start here. Then over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You gotta come down by 8. And now get rid of this. In fact, I was going to just place this down here temporarily. Honestly, I think that's actually fine. And regarding this one up here, got quite a similar problem. If I half nudge that into there, that doesn't look too bad. We'll stick with that. You can then continue there. You're already going to be fine. I do want to try and implement the automated gates somehow. Trying to think what's the best way to do it. Okay, so that's that. I still wouldn't mind something down here. There. Then half nudge you down here. We are working off of a half nudge now, so that's quite important to remember. I think you're fine. You just have to come out by a little bit more. No. Half nudge you that way. Perfect. Same thing now with this. No. There. Don't mind the gap. We can find a way to fix that. What if I just did this? This should work. No. There we go. Then nudge you this way. Nudge you back this way. Nudge you down half. Back half. No, game says no, so we can't do that. That's fine. Okay. So there is still a gap here. What if I did this? Now let's have a look. We'll have a look. So we're given this sort of interesting design. I use the word interesting because I'm unsure about it. I don't hate it, but I think it could use some adjustments. I'm trying to develop my building to the stage where I don't instantly hate it. I look at it and I try and think of improvements for it. Which is a lot easier said than done. Because it's very simple to say, that looks crap, and just getting rid of it. But it's far more difficult to try and work on what you think is bad, to try and make it good again. But eventually, it won't be good. It will be great. There we go. It looks a little bit like a viper. I don't know why I'm getting like, oh sorry, a cobra. It's the head of the cobra, this is the tongue of it. Just paint it in red if I got a red. I mean, that could be the concept, the cobra entrance. Entrance, I don't know. It's a door. So I feel like that's fine. If I just come up here by a little bit. Wow, every single time I wanted to try and place this thing down, it was facing the wrong way. That's unfortunate. Don't know if I like that. I'm literally just trying to think of the best way to try and do this. As of right now, uncertain. And that's what I had before, that sort of idea, then it overlapped the roads there a little bit. What's wrong with just having some sort of basic entrance? Like this. Having that there. Then you. The furthest point I can start from is here, but the problem is, are you actually... Oh yeah, you should be centralized. Thinking about it now, there's no reason why you shouldn't be. Then we paint you white. Again, it's an interesting door. Don't know if it works. What about it doesn't work? The fact that the angle at the top is too sharp. Can a truck even fit through here? Yes, if it's very centralized. Can't nudge it. Of course I can't. That makes sense, actually. No, you're actually fine, because the points where it starts to collide with the roof are the points where it's about to drive off the ramp anyway. Off the road, so it's kind of fine there. Now, if this is too sharp, the easiest thing for me to try and do is come down here. There. Then come up. And that's not... It's not bad, it's just... Again, it's different. I feel like it needs something. I don't know what, but it needs something. So I'm going to get rid of that. No, it's not that. What if I was to leave a little gap here? It helps, but it's not perfect, so no. I'm not trying to go for perfect, but I don't want it to look bad, so... I don't mind a quick redesign. I had an idea in mind about a second ago, now I forgot what it was. I think it involved lights. No, it didn't. It involved this. There we go. Okay. I remember I did this for my old train stations in my last season. And it actually helped. Does it help now? I think approaching this door actually looks quite interesting. I don't mind the approach, in all honesty. Doesn't look dreadful. Even from this side, again, it's not too bad. What if I just randomly got rid of a couple of these? Like this. For no other reason than just making an interesting design. I feel like that almost helps. Because it makes it look quite unique. Frame walls in front of the concrete walls. Yeah, that could help. No, I don't like it. There's definitely something here. Just don't know what. Don't know how this will look. I don't think it'll look bad. I just don't know if it's going to change much. Okay. This wall has to come down. But it can't though. Without me changing the entire design, which I'm not going to be doing now. And it can't do that. I did this. That's slightly better. If I do that now for this one here, and then for this one. Great. Can I try and paint this in now? Because right now it's just white next to white, which just looks white. Carbon steel could be interesting. Maybe it's a bit too dark. No, I think it's fine. I think there's nothing wrong with this. The more I try and look at it, the more I'm going to try and find something that is actually wrong with it. So I think it's fine for now. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. If anything, actually, it almost matches this building better than I thought it would. From this angle at least, because you can't really see too much of the blue. Okay. We'll stick with this then. Then, I don't know what I'm going to be doing here, but that's not today's problem. I would say the exterior of this project's now done. There's not really too much more I want to try and do with it. One thing that I do want to do today is all the little jobs that I could do off camera. Plus the main job, which is the logistics. So I want to try and get my conveyor belts, which is currently somewhere down over there. And by the way, I'm really liking this. I can't believe I built this. The thing is, right, this actual build, I don't necessarily like massively. What I do like is the concept that I've used for this. In my head, I can now design this, but better for my next factory. So again, the road's still going to be there. A very similar sort of design to this as well, but repeated on that side without this conveyor belt highway on top. There will be some sort of seating that looks very similar to this, just without the roads. And I honestly think that would be a really good concept. I'm very happy with it. And that's a good takeaway. I've never built anything like this before, by the way. I mean, I've barely... Well, no, to be fair, I have built quite a lot of conveyor belt highways in my time. I've built many, many, many of them. But I've never built one on top of another. And then with a factory directly right next to it. And then trying to transport resources from one to the other, whilst looping it around a factory about 100 foundations in the air. I've never done that before. Now I have. Have I learned a lot from it? Definitely. I would say I still need to learn a lot, but overall, not too bad. So, the concept now, the idea, is I want to try and place in this blueprint a few more times in this direction. There we go. Perfect. Maybe not. There we go. And then it comes down to the idea of how am I going to transport these resources up? Because actually, I could get a few of you up from here. I could do cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, which only leaves 2 left. Okay. I'm content with that idea. Am I going to be annoying and replace you? Yeah, I am. Oh, where's our conveyor? Oh, I know where it is. There we go. Please, thank you. 1, 2. I'm so special. I can't do things normally. When I say special, I don't mean it in a, like, wow sort of way. More like a, oh sort of way. Like a me sort of way. That only applies to me. It applies to no one else. It's my specialness. Wait. You lot should be going the other way, shouldn't you? Oh, no, yeah, you're correct. Then you've got to flip, I think. Yeah, because I'm going from up to down. Like so. You're awakened. Welcome. Well, thanks guys for watching. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. I'm joking. Hope that you're doing good today. Now, where are you? That's not correct. That's tolerable. Because it's correct. Then you go in like that. You go in like that. Brilliant. Now it's just you two left. Right here. And again, a very similar sort of, not problem, we don't run into problems. A very similar sort of occurrence has now taken place here, where you need to flip around. I don't make mistakes, mistakes make me. Damn. That's inspirational. I don't know in what way that's inspirational, but maybe to someone. Someone's heard that for the first time and thought, whoa, that's stupid. Okay, so now all of my conveyors that I need are now going into here. A hub? What hub? Okay, so blueprints. You're both actually fine. I have to rename them. Can I actually rename it from here? Oh, actually, oh. That's really annoying. I can do everything except for renaming it. Okay. In that case. Oh dear, I didn't yawn. You thought I yawned, but I didn't yawn. There we go. Is this correct? Yes, it is. I'll plop you into here. Then auto connect, auto glass repair, auto glass replace, right into here. I haven't seen those ads in ages, by the way. Are they still in business? I hope so, because their ads are actually quite entertaining. Mostly because of their little jingle at the end. So YouTube on this far side. However, the problem is, if I was to link that up now, you are going to cut through all of this. I have to. That's what I do, is this. Got a queue up to there. Got a queue here. Like so. Which will thus allow me to do that, then this. Because which one are you? You would have been the furthest out. In theory now you've got to go to here. I'm going to do the exact same thing here with you, I think. Oh, I'm stuck. I should be able to make that, right? No, you bend too much. Do you? I don't think so. Then if you were to cut across here... Oh, man. I don't think it matters, because you're both carrying the same resource. There we go. Same with these two. Because you two are both carrying... the canisters for packaged crude oil. Then you're both carrying the packaged crude oil. Then you two are both doing the sulfur. So if you're both carrying sulfur, then it doesn't actually matter. As long as I just remember that these two have to be going to the same location, then it's fine. Okay. That was not worth it. There we go. So now, when you lot come around here, the very first two things that I connected in this general direction. There we go. Why are you like that? Did I not connect all of them? I did, yeah. Okay. Alright. You two were for that. And you two were for that. So, okay. Let's see. I'm gonna come down to here. Same with you. Same with you for now. With you then coming over here. Great. And then, just like what happened before, because you're both carrying the same item, I don't think it massively matters if you come down this one or that one. Bug with straight mode. Oh, okay. Yeah, we have been spotting quite a few bugs recently. I'm not sure if I like that. And there's no point in you two going down here, because you have to get back up now in just a sec. And that. There we go. Then the plan is, I want you to come into this one. Although you are facing the wrong way. I wish there was a way where you could instantly switch the the direction of conveyor belts. Like if I was to somehow, I don't know, press a button and then middle mouse click or something, and then it just switches the direction of the conveyor belt without having to remove it. I can't imagine that's ever going to be a thing, because that just sounds like it's quite difficult to code, but if that was ever a thing, that would be quite nice. I'll bring you to here. And down. Same thing now with you. And down. There. The only difference is I want you to go up. It's the easiest way to do this. What was the curve saying? I mean, you do curve, but not in the way I really wanted you to. If I was to have straight mode from there up to here, how about that? That works. Yep. Okay. Let me just make a note of what I've just done. Because what I did was... Where is it? Here, if I can even show you somehow. A bit above there. I've written every single conveyor belt line that can go into my rocket fuel factory. And I've written out exactly where I want my items going in, just so it's easy for me to do the logistics. Yeah, 2.5 hours already, I don't know, it's ridiculous. It really is. So now what I can do, because everything's connected, almost. Forgot about this. We can now come back over here and continue this. Has the order been moved around? Because you two are still collecting the things. Oh dear. Packaged crude oil. You're the canisters then, yeah. The way it was going to be was you two were for the canisters. You are for sulfur. Packaged crude oil, sulfur. Now you're both sulfur. That's fine. Oh wait a minute. No, the sulfur's the one we've already got, I think. Yes. Okay, so I don't know what that one is just yet. Canisters, sulfur, packaged crude oil, sulfur. And now what I've got is the 2 canisters, that's fine, I think. Packaged crude oil, sulfur, packaged crude oil. But as long as you're going to the right place, I think that's not going to be a problem. Yeah, as long as it gets there. Honestly, as long as it just gets there. I don't think I'm doing any weird vertical things anymore now. Nice. That was a really fun challenge. Again, never done anything like that before. So it was nice getting thrown into the deep end and just trying to work out what to do. I do actually quite enjoy doing that, in all fairness. There we go. And just continue all of this. I don't think I'm getting any resources from anywhere near here. You still have to go by a long distance, actually. There we go, that's correct. Oh, hello. Go, go, go. Nice. Look how cheap these resources are as well. I am surprising myself today. No. Good. Bring you down to there. Bring you forwards by only a little bit because you're now going to turn. Don't you dare attach to that. There's no need to. We'll bring it back to here. Be fun. I don't need this here. Then, now let's place this over here now as well. So off camera, I'm going to be connecting all of the power together from all of our conveyor belt highway blueprints that I've plopped down so far. Which should be a good hour or so worth of commitments. I won't call it work. However, it is going to be hectic, so, yeah. I've also got to connect all the hypertubes together. Regarding this logistics, I might do it. I don't mind doing it on camera though as well. And then tomorrow is going to be all the power towers, because if I can get the power towers done, it means that everything that I've placed down conveyor belt wise is finished. I don't have to go back and add this, remove that, tweak this, check this. No, just everything is done up until this point. Whereas now, for example, I've just given you a list of things I've got to do. So just because I've placed down these conveyor belt highways doesn't just mean that it's done. No, it means I've got a lot more to do, but this is a step in the right direction, and it's a good foundation. I mean, it literally is a foundation. It's called a foundation. Okay, that's the wrong blueprint. But regardless though, this is a good start. And there's no denying it. Well, there is, but I'm not going to. Gonna chuck that into there. Love how my frames drop when I try and do this auto-connect thing. But if you guys ever do try and use the auto-connect, especially for bigger blueprints, like this is barely anything, it's about like what, 5 or 6 conveyor belts. If you ever do try and use it and your game lags, don't worry, it's not just you, it's the feature as far as what I'm aware. Because it's quite a laggy feature. Which is fine. I love the feature, so that's okay in my books. So, because you have the red badge, Vinod, I think that's the 1 year badge? What does it say if I go over it? No. I would have liked to have seen how long you've been a member for. It must be a year, right? Because the red one, I think the way it works is blue is the first one you get when you join. Then yellow, then red, then purple, then green. The reason why purple is the second last one, not red, even though I actually love the way the red one looks, is because purple is a sign of royalty. So I feel like if you've earned that badge, you have to be a member for at least 3 seconds. No, I did it in a random order. But I wanted blue to be near the first one because I actually just love the way it looks. Well, I like the way all the badges look, otherwise I wouldn't have done them. Yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to change them, because the truth is, well, even though it was literally in the description of every single one of my live streams before I came back, the images that I was using, the other membership badges weren't mine. I didn't make that. Whereas this one, well, no, sorry, cancel that. I made the badges, but the actual Viking images inside of the badges, I didn't make. I made everything else around the badges and everything else, pretty much. So this time I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna make my own. So I got a banner, which I thought looked quite nice. I had to change quite a few things. For example, the colours, that was far more difficult than what it may seem. Because when I tried to add in the colors, it just wasn't working, so I had to tweak some of it, crop out some other bits, leave in the bit around the outside, the gold bits. The white, I had to trim away, make a new emote on top of that, completely desaturate the colors, then contrast it to make it appear white rather than red. And then there's a little black line in the middle which you can't even see unless you zoom into it. In fact, can I show you here? There we go. So where is it? You can't see my mouse, can you? Because it's over there. Anyway. Zoom in. Obviously, it's quite pixelated now because I've zoomed in by quite a distance. But basically, if you look at that blue badge, around the outside of where the badge actually is, that green and gold sort of look, that in itself was one layer. The blue was a second layer. The black line in between the white and the blue colors was a different layer. The lions was of course its own separate thing, as well as the shields. The blue was its own layer there as well. There's a black tint behind the entire thing, which is another separate layer. I had to crop things outside of other things, and it was quite difficult to do, but overall I thought it was fine. I had to saturate the colors in a certain way because it looks a bit dark. So that's why if you look in the center of the blue flag, it looks quite white. And if you go towards the corners of where the blue and the white are, it looks far darker. That's because I essentially used some, I think it's called exposure. I increased the exposure there. Again, if you guys know anything to do with cameras or editing, you probably know how this is done. But yeah, so that was the plan regarding that. Anything else I did? I had to sharpen everything because it looks really blurry. So now it appears grainier. But I think it's better than it looking really blurry because the image was quite small to begin with. And you can only upload an image that's 1 KB, which is nothing. Or is it 1 megabyte? I think it's 1 megabyte. But the problem was when I exported it, it looks nice, but it was 1.1 megabytes. And because of the app that I use, I couldn't actually change it. So I had to just make the image far smaller, which is fine. Oh yeah, I've got it as an emote as well. So the green one, that's like the main channel banner. And you can also unlock it as a member as well. We have got a few new emotes, I believe. No. We got a GG one. We got a yeah emote. The badge. We got a wow one and an O one. Oh, that's too many, apparently. There we go. Yeah, so a few new emotes. Again, I was up until about 2 AM making that. Not because I spent a lot of time making it, but because I was so bored that evening, I didn't know what else to do, and I thought, you know what? It's been so long, like, generally, I think it's been over, well, when did I get members? I had 2 emotes pretty much the day that I was able to get memberships, and since that day, I've changed nothing with members. So I thought, you know what, it's about time. A bit of a Christmas special from me to you guys. And now we have this. And I think I've got enough room for 1 or 2 more emotes. It depends how many members you have. In case you guys don't know how it works on YouTube, it all depends on the amount of members that you have. So if you have, I think we have 8 channel members, maybe 9. No, sorry, I think we got 12 channel members, but we can have 8 emotes. That's the one. But for example, if we had 3 members, we wouldn't be able to have that much. So because of you guys, we are able to have more emotes, which is pretty awesome. So thank you. Okay, you can just continue going straight through here, actually. There we go. In fact, no, because I want to place down another blueprint here. And get rid of this. There we go. I'm gonna chuck you down. Are you lined up? Oh, my good golly gosh, you are. Right here. Why is there an... Oh, yeah. I was about to, like, scream, but luckily, I knew that that was going to be that. because of our little predicament in our last episode. If you weren't here for it, nothing happens. Do not worry. I didn't accidentally place all of this one nudge too far in one direction. Oh. Okay. I think I have to address this situation. This is bad. Even from my standards, this is bad. Like, my standards are so inconsistent sometimes. Like, a build has to look perfect, but then I can go days without changing something like this, for example. Diabolical. Get a grip. There we go. Also, I'm currently day 3 into rewatching, oh, sorry, not rewatching, watching for the first time Game of Thrones. I don't hate it, well, hate's a strong word. I don't dislike it as much as I dislike the first couple episodes. I'm currently on episode 8 of season 1. So far there's a fight that's about to happen. And as far as what I'm aware, there's 3 armies that are approaching. You've got, and I don't actually understand the Game of Thrones lore properly, even though I've researched it a few times. You have the Lannisters, who, from the sounds of it, are twats, but they're very powerful twats, which make them even more of a twat. You then have the Starks, who are in control of the northern kingdoms. No, the northern province? Don't care, the north. In Winterfell. That's their region. And then, not Rob, no, not John. Stuart, no. One of the Starks, the guy who played, Sharp in the show Sharp. Fantastic show, by the way, if you've never seen Sharp, it's really good. He was Robert's friend in war, and they fought together. They emoted together. Then, when Robert's... Spoiler, by the way, spoiler for Game of Thrones, that's about 10 years old. When Roberts goes out to hunt a boar, he then gets injured himself. I think he pierced himself with a stick or a sword or whatever. And then he dies. Halas, dead. Shame. But as he was dying, he then wrote to... Edward Stark? Ed Stark? Anyway, he wrote to the Mr. Stark and says, until his son becomes of age, because he's only like, I think 14, 15, I don't know how old his son actually is. He then wanted him to be in charge of the kingdoms until his son was old enough, basically. However, when he went to go, even though he didn't really want to be, when he went to go take charge, his child, who is not called, they're not Lannisters, they're... I don't know what their surname is. He took charge no matter what, and then his wife demanded that their son is it the wife? I don't know. See, I don't understand. I don't understand what's happening. There's 3 armies. There's a Dyraki army, and they have nothing to do with anything else that's happening. But then you're still following their story. Then one minute there's something happening in one of the big castles, and then she's eating a horse heart, and then something else happens, and then there's a character from Maze Runner, and then he's just appearing out of nowhere. It's like, what's happening? I don't know. Chat, I don't know what's happening in Game of Thrones. It's the most confusing thing I've ever watched. It's not... I wouldn't say it's bad. No, it's not completely bad. It's just... It's very confusing. There's characters who I don't think I know doing things to people who I think I should know in places which I'm unaware of. I don't know. And the reason why it's called a Game of Thrones, I suppose, is because they're trying to fight over the throne of the kingdoms. But where does the Dyraki come into thing? I'm sure into the play of things. I'm sure they do. Again, I'm only a few episodes in. Or Dothraki, not Doraki. Dothraki. And then there's another woman with the Dothraki who's now married to the leader of the Dothraki. And then she gets given an egg, a dragon egg. And she was part of another family, house as they're called, who were almost entirely wiped out. And okay, so I remember now. I believe, she has the right to the throne. Robb then wanted the Stark fella to be on the throne until his son was old enough. But now his son is the king. Even though his son isn't ready to be king. And I don't know much about Game of Thrones, but I know that the son is a hated character. But they're not hated because of the actor. They're hated because of the character just being a bit of a... How do I frame this lightly? A dick. I haven't seen it yet because I haven't watched too much Game of Thrones, but... The actor's good. Irish fella. He's 33 now or something, so... Tells you how long the show's been going on for. I think there's nothing wrong with the cast from what I've seen. Like, occasionally you will watch something, and there'll be one or two actors or actresses that just drag the performance down a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I can't do any better than what they're doing at all whatsoever. However, when you've got, let's say, a scene that has a few really good actors in it, and then you have one mediocre actor or actress, it does take away a little bit from what's happening. I remember when I was watching 13 Reasons Why for the first time, the guy who plays Alex, not bad actor or anything, but doesn't quite give the performance of anyone else. So it does make a difference. It definitely does. So far, they all seem good. Even in the new Avatar movie, for example, the actor that played Spider, not bad actor, but again, just felt a little bit weak in places, but I don't massively care. But it seems fine. One thing that I've learnt about GOT, as the veterans call it, no one ever calls it that, Game of Thrones, is the throne itself is made of swords of armies that the is it even an empire? The kingdom is defeated, which is quite interesting. It's quite a famous throne. I'd say it's the most famous throne. Is it the most famous throne in entertainment? I can't think of another one. Yeah. Also, there's another subplot as well with a fella called Jon Snow. And he gives the line, the classic line, "Winter is coming," because his name's Jon Snow, and then winter is his army. Cold, very cold line. Oh, literally cold. That was unintentional. But that's pretty cool. Like, winter. Oh. So, now this is something else I'm confused about as well. So, Jon Snow is leading an army to, not Winterfell, to King's Landing, which is where the main castle is. But I don't know if he's trying to fight the Lannister bunch. I don't know if he's trying to fight the Dothraki. Because the Lannisters have also now made friends with some, like, Viking-looking nomad tribe. So, oh, man. I'm watching it. I don't even know half their names. I know their surnames, which helps. I mean, I should probably know that by episode 8, but it is mind-boggling. Also, there's a tree inside of this. I don't really appreciate. Oh well. Okay, so you then go here. There we go. You're then going to wrap around to here. I think you come out to around about that sort of point. Yes, the subplot that I was talking about was Jon Snow. He and his friend, who I just won't ever know the name of, discover that there's these things called the White Claws, White Ravens, essentially some like zombie things with blue eyes that have now come back after 1,000 years. Great timing, I know. It's almost like they're making a movie. So now they've got this huge problem of we need an army, and if these blue walkers, night walkers, wolf walkers, whatever they're called, I'm going to call them spaghettis. If the spaghettis come back, then they could do a lot of damage. The character who was with Jon Snow was saying that even though the wall, which like this wall dividing the very top part of the north with this massive frozen area, it's really tall, but he then says, I hope the walls are tall enough, so I assume that this army of the dead's going to rise and try and take over the kingdom. I mean, at this rate, they're probably going to succeed, then have some sort of like dance-off battle with one of the Starks. I don't know what's happening. No. I'm waiting for one of them to get pregnant. It's gonna happen. When the story isn't... I was talking about this a couple of days ago. When the story isn't progressing anymore, one of them is gonna get pregnant. In fact, wait. One of them is pregnant. Oh, of course. The woman that's with the Dothraki, she's pregnant with the Dothraki's king's potential son. She thinks it's a son. I don't know if it's going to be a son. You guys probably do if you've seen it, because again, it's about 15 years old now, this show. She is pregnant. I don't think anyone else is yet. Yeah. A lot's happening. I feel like when I'm watching this TV show, I can't have it as a side show. Like, sometimes I'd watch a podcast on the side, or I'd watch an interview on the side, or the news, whatever. And I'm gaming whilst I'm doing it. Mostly when I'm gaming Satisfactory. But I can't do that with Game of Thrones. And I suppose, if anything, that's actually a compliment. Because you have to be paying attention. It's a bit like, have you guys ever been reading a book and you don't pay attention for a few seconds, and you then realize that you have no idea what you've just read? Then you have to go back and reread it. I do that constantly. It's annoying. You have to pay attention. It's a bit like that with anyway, enough about that. Basically, that entire discussion there was me trying to tell you guys that I have no idea what's happening, but I like it. I think. I don't know. But regarding the three armies, if I was to predict what's going... Actually, I can't even predict. It makes no sense. Game of Thrones is not realistic. That's my hot opinion for today. What did you learn on today's Satisfactory stream? That Game of Thrones is not realistic. Who needs best recipe guides when you've got that sort of information floating around? Okay. Connect all of this together. This is quite a lot of work just for a conveyor belt system. And the funny thing is, we are gonna have like thousands of items coming from here to here, which is good. But the problem is, let's say something does go wrong over here and I'm consuming more resources than I need. By the time that I fix the problem over, let's say here, for example, it's going to take about 10 minutes for my items to go from point A to point B. Because if I can carry 780 items per minute, and this is thousands of belts long, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I don't care. I do. No, I don't. I do, but I don't care. I don't care enough to take action. I care enough to be a little bit concerned. Oh, look at that. Out of fuel. Oh dear. I'm burning through this biofuel, like absolutely tearing through it. It was a circular GG one. Yeah, I got rid of it. So we had a GG emote and a yeah one. I've now changed them. I've tried to incorporate the pickle into the GG one. It looks a little bit like 6-6, but it's supposed to be GG. And the yeah one's just yeah typed out twice. As you can tell by the lack of quality, I made them myself. Hot opinion, yes. The hot take is a hot opinion. But because people are so afraid of opinions, they say hot take rather than hot opinion. Like, no, you're allowed an opinion. And if anything, it's actually very important to give your opinion. Because it's good for the rest of us to see who is a danger to us all. That's why I think freedom of speech is extremely important. But then you often have the counter-argument of, well, what if this person says something really bad? Great. We can then tell that person's an absolute moron by the fact that we've given them free speech. Well, also, it's just quite important anyway. Even the guy who played Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, he gave a whole speech years ago now talking about the importance of freedom of speech. It really is. But nowadays, you get killed for saying your opinion, so it's a bit... yeah. Hot opinion, hot take. I don't think you should get killed for giving your opinion. Even if, again, it's a dumb thing. If you say something stupid, it's your take. For example, I think pineapple belongs on pizza. That's my take. Someone might think that the earth is flat, right? That's their opinion. They're allowed to have that. I think it's important. Right, so how many items have I got in this dismantle crate? I assume quite a few. I would say it's not a problem, but it actually kind of is. Just equip you. Now, what I want to try and do here is get rid of as fewer trees as possible. And luckily, because of the new single mode, I'm able to do that. Again, another really fantastic Satisfactory feature. Who would have thought? Wow. What's this one? Oh, it's done this to me. No, why do you always change? And maybe this one here as well? Yep. I'm going to say you. Now how we look at... Oh yeah, this definitely has to go most likely. Yeah, that's fine. Do I want... Yeah. Yeah, I do. I really don't want to get rid of too many more. I mean, almost the entire thing here has to go, so let's change you to area. That's borderline perfect. Perfect. There we go. I'm live for 3 hours. Enjoying it so far. I can go for another couple hours if I didn't have to go and eat dinner. If I didn't have to, like, you know, consume food. At the same time, though, I love food more than I love anything else on Earth, so I'm not going to say no to that. Honestly, man, if I didn't run, I would be the size of my room. I love, like, food for me is life. Well, I mean, well, food is quite literally life for everyone, but I don't know, I love it. But I don't like having too much at the same time. Like, I'm not a massive fan of buffets. I used to, but now I get really overwhelmed when I see a buffet. Nowadays, I like to have a small amount, but a satisfying amount. Which is my way of saying I'd rather not starve, if possible. If it happens, it happens. Oh, you know what? Let's end off with a bang. We have got ourselves a crash site. Let's see what's... Oh, okay. Well, that wasn't very nice. Got 37 berries on there. What do you need? Oh, yeah. Slide in. Slide in. Lovely. Now what I'm going to do. This is called a big brain move. You've only seen this in Hollywood movies. I want to try and gather a bunch of resources. So what I'm going to do is remove that, which is then going to send all my items to my dismantle crates, which now means I can gather everything here without any sort of concern about not having enough room. 2,000 IQ. Ooh. Not enough room. Oh. Okay. So you know that 2,000 IQ thing that I just told you about? Oh, I know why. I'm an idiot. It's because when I got rid of my personnel storage box, I gained all my resources back again. Absolute idiot, man. The concept's there, though. The concept's there. There we go. Right, here we go. 2,000 IQ moving coming. Bam. Boom. 17 turbo mode. Oh, damn. I do realize I have got hundreds, if not thousands, of some of these items, but it's still nice to have, though, right? I can hear noises. I can hear really good noises coming from underneath. Is there a little cave network? Come on, show me the hole. Pause. Pause. I didn't mean... Show me the entrance of the cave. Is there one? If I can hear noises, there must be a cave entrance, right? Also, I'm getting damaged by radioactivity whilst there being no form of radioactivity nearby. So one is going to assume that there is a... Oh, hello. A cave here. Okay, there's a slug there. Don't care for the slug. I'll get it. If I can. Don't care for it, though. Nothing here. We didn't see anything this side, did we? It would have made sense if there was something here. Oh, hello. Guten Morgen. Let's whip out the Nobelisk. Fantastic job. Oh, is it a cave network as well? Oh, wood. I won't say no to the free wood. Some spiders in here too. Luckily, I love spiders. Oh, holy moly, this is beautiful. Although it is just slugs by the looks of things, so as much as I won't say no to the slugs, it's also not necessarily what I was hoping for. It's a little bit like winning the lottery, then not being happy that it's only 400 grand rather than a mil. You still won. The only problem is, am I actually going to die from this? Because I'm losing health rapidly right now. Next problem, how do I get out of here? I actually forgot how I came in. You're gonna start singing now, isn't she? Yeah, brilliant. Stop singing. I think we're going to make it out alive. What a fantastic exploration. The best exploration. All the wood. There's no... why am I even getting wood? I've got so much of it. Like, there's no need. Oh, dear. In case you guys don't know, I've got something like 100,000 packaged liquid biofuel, which is going to last me... It could last me for 5 years. Like, actual in real lifetime 5 years. So I think I'm fine. Anyway, our logistics is here. Is our logistics done, actually? Did I manage to bring everything up? I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. Great, so there's no need for these two. Grind. So now off camera, what I'm going to do, if I can be bothered, is try and just sort everything out here. Again, connect the power. Make sure that all of these road concrete beams are connected with each other as well there. Make sure that our hypertube network up here is fully done, which as you can see, it clearly isn't. So we have got quite a lot to do, which again is what I'm going to be doing now off camera. Regardless, I think, if I can just do this for a second, boom, boom. I think that's going to do us for today. So thank you very much for watching. If you didn't see yesterday, I uploaded a shorts video. It's nothing to do with Satisfactory. I did something yesterday, actually a few days ago, in a video game called Battlefield 6, and it was quite nice, so I uploaded it. So feel free to check that one out if you so wish. Regardless, that is going to do us for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be continuing with most likely this... No, sorry, we said that we're going to be doing the power towers, didn't we? That's going to take ages to do. It might be quite repetitive, so we'll see what we do. We might do half the stream of power towers, and the other half of the stream is continuing this conveyor belt right here off to the right. Shooting it down the right side in a straight line for like a good couple hundred foundations, I would say. The problem is, though, we are really highly elevated, so at some point or another, we are going to have to actually go down a little bit. Even though I want this highway to be highly elevated in the sky, like what we've done in the Rocky Desert, I don't want it to be too high, otherwise that just... oh, it's a bit of a nuisance. Either way, thank you very much to the 140 people that watched over on YouTube today. I do greatly appreciate that. And then hopefully tomorrow we can continue some fun. And overall, the title of today's stream, which I did actually answer the question of, was, did we bite off a bit more than we can chew? Yes. But I feel like today, just planning out the future of the factories, the conveyor belt highways as well, and actually getting a good chunk of our core facility done, that was quite nice. I liked that. So, fingers crossed, I want to try and continue that momentum into the next few episodes. But either way, thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Stay safe, and as always, Godspeed.